Hello, my name is Justin Decloux. I'm here today with
Will Sloan.
And you're listening to the importance of... What was that little head shake that you just did? Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Will, he put his head to the side. He went, Will Sloan?
That was me getting into character, folks, because it is the Important Cinema Club podcast, and we are rounding out
Nothing But Laughs November worldwide.
And I realize it's December now.
Mm-hmm.
We're not great at math.
Nope.
But that's fine. This is the fourth of 4 episodes in a row where we've discussed comic actors, comedians, laugh getters, shenanigan doers who were very popular in their home country, were possibly very popular at other parts of the world, but never crossed over into North America.
Now, popularity-wise, because the Crazy Cats, who we're talking about today, did have one of their films kind of sneak into North America under a very weird English title that we can get to, but that was pretty much it.
So, in previous episodes, we've talked about Raj Kapoor, we've talked about Terrence Hill and Bud Spencer, we talked about the Korean gentleman who made The Last Godfather, whose name I've already forgotten.
The images he showed you haunt you to this day.
Oh my, Yonge!
I mean, you'd probably just rather be called Yonge, so...
But finally, we finish our worldwide journey in Japan.
Mm-hmm. And we're doing a comedy troupe for the first time in this month of hilarity.
That's right. We are talking about the Crazy Cats. Now, these guys... from 1962 to 1971, in which time they appeared in 30 films. There were 18 official Crazy Cat films, but various configurations of them appeared in 18.
Yeah, I think I saw a list that was 14 official Crazy Cat films, but it's so hard to track because the cats, some of them would star in movies, there'd be cameos by the other ones.
And Toho started them out as supporting characters in other people's movies. But anyway, we'll get to all that. They were very popular at that time in Japan. They were a multimedia phenomenon. This, for our audience, is reaching new heights of obscurity.
English-speaking audiences, yes.
These movies on Letterboxd have been logged by 14 people.
That's right.
And
I literally know the person who subtitled multiple of these movies.
Right. You watch these movies. These are beautiful, professional, slick, big studio movies. 14 or 15 people have logged them on Letterboxd. And if you have Letterboxd, have you ever had the experience of, you just click on a random Japanese actor from the 1960s and you'll see...
You'll know the first 3 films?
The first 3 will be like
in a Kurosawa
They were
film.
in a Kurosawa film. They were in a Godzilla film. They were in a random Japanese spy thriller that was on the Criterion Channel once. And then there are 500 movies that you have no idea what they are. And nobody in the West has watched them. They were strictly for local consumption. Well, we are spelunking in those minds today.
Mm-hmm. Now, the people who have logged them do love these movies. And I have to say, getting into it, I like them. I think I grew to love them by the end.
Me too.
But I think it is something that I wasn't expecting. The way that I read about them, I even said in the last episode, I hear it's a hell of a poppin' experience. It is not. That's not really what these movies are.
I had, I think, the exact same experience you had, where it took me a while. And for a moment, I was ready to declare defeat. But then by the end, I thought, I love these guys. I love their world.
I think one of the issues that we come to it is that it's clear these films are built on the goodwill of these actors. That when you see them, you're like, yay, I love these guys.
And I mean, is this not comedy everywhere?
Everywhere, yeah.
A comedian will come and they'll make a huge splash. And any of the Jim Carrey movies after Dumb and Dumber, there are 10 years of Jim Carrey movies. Batman Forever, he's not funny if you have no context for him. He's just doing shtick. Or Robin Williams is like that too. A lot depends on the baggage you bring.
But we should say that these performances are not Jim Carrey-like in these films.
So I would compare these guys, and we'll get into who they are, but they're a little bit in no other way than this. They're like the Bowery Boys in the sense that...
A little bit.
It's a group of 7 guys, 3 of whom really matter.
Yes.
And then
miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
Yeah. Maybe you have your favorite that's part of the other 4 guys. I could not name them.
I've got them written down here.
When they came up, I was like, I know that guy. He showed up in the other movie that I saw.
So how did you find out about Crazy Cats? I'd never heard of them.
Someone that I follow on Letterboxd logged a bunch of their movies. And I was probably doing a thing. I was like, oh, what is this person who has really good taste that I like? What have they given over 4 stars? And this movie came up and I was like, I've never heard of this. What is it? Had almost no logs. And I was like, okay. And I feel like over the last year, more people, and by that I mean going from 5 logs to 14 logs, have been discovering them. This is also, and I want to make this clear right from the start, this is boomer humor. Like, this is It's a Mad, 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 Mad World style. Much better than that, though.
Yeah.
How dare you?
No, yeah, much better than that. But I also think the gulf between them isn't. Well, here's what I'll say. These movies are interesting to me partly because like they're such 1960s movies and they're very, as Japanese as they are in so many ways, they're very Western influenced. So the ones that I watched at least have a very strong James Bond influence.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a very, very strong It's a Mad, 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 Mad World influence. And like those movies, James Bond and It's a Mad, Mad World,
They're long.
They're a little ambling.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. I think production values are fantastic.
Like, I've heard people say stuff like, "Oh, I couldn't really laugh because the movie, the comedy was like not about these movies, but just a comedy in general, like a new one. Oh, it was filmed too professionally, and that cut off. Shut up, shut up. All the great comedies look good.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, it's true.
Look at those Three Stooges shorts, beautifully filmed.
Oh yeah, it's like Lawrence of Arabia.
But I hate that belief that you cannot, like, all these Crazy Cat films that we watch are all very cinematic in the way that they're presented, from set design, from just the way the camera moves, the editing.
And I think some of the pleasure of these movies are the same pleasures as a 60s James Bond movie, where it's like...
You're living in the world?
You're living in the world. The color is beautiful. The costumes are beautiful. The locations are beautiful. Like, some of these are globe-trotting adventures.
I can't believe the Crazy Cats are going to San Francisco and also Mexico. Oh, there's two... No. They're in the same movie. The movie's 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Okay, let me break down who the Crazy Cats are.
Let's do it.
So after the Second World War, they originated, some configuration of them first started performing on army bases, American army bases.
As the Cuban Cats.
They couldn't speak English. They did some sort of broken English patter between the songs. But yeah, they did a lot of Afro-Cuban music.
And everybody in the audience, because they were doing basically Spike Jonze style bits. The director of Jackass and all that.
No, not that Spike
the other
Jonze.
Spike Jonze.
So yeah, they were the Cuban Cats, and then as they incorporated more and more comedy, they became the Crazy Cats.
Because you cats are crazy. Let's call ourselves... I can't wait for the Crazy Cat biopic where they're like, crazy, eh?
It's as simple as that. Now, as I said, there are 7 members. The main ones are, you got Hitoshi Ueki. He's on guitar and vocals.
And he's the guy who, in the movies that we watched, stars in all of them. In the sense that he is kind of like usually the first character you meet and the one that you follow.
He's
throughout.
the anchor of the story, yeah. His persona is that of a manic, scheming, rather
man,
irresponsible, but also a salaryman.
That's important about these movies, is that the salaryman is so kind of ingrained. You follow the rules, you do what you're told, and he's that job, but he's a little bit, on the wild side, if you will.
And, when I was like a teenager reading about Japanese Godzilla movies and this sort of thing, you would hear that term salaryman.
And you're like, what does that mean?
Over and over again. You'd read that Jun Fukuda, for example, directed the popular Salaryman series. It's like, what's the salaryman? Well, he's an office worker, a white-collar worker, a very like post-war economic boom, like middle-class guy. And, I'm going to paint in really broad brush here, but, Japan, a society that's very orderly, very, very rules-based, very conformist in a lot of ways. Hitoshi Ueki, he's in that guise, but he's breaking the rules,
He's a thin guy, and he's got a big smile on his face most of the time, and he's always trying to get one over on the people that he meets.
So you've got the round-faced Keitana, a bit of a sad sack.
Yep, he's kind of like the more innocent looking guy. So when I think of the Crazy Cats, the movie that we watch, there's a trio that those are like the core guys.
Oh, well, there's also, and the third is Hajime Hana.
And he's the leader of the Crazy Cats.
Off screen,
yeah, not on screen, which is weird.
He basically like created the Crazy Cats, him and another guy. In the movies, he plays middle manager types. He's greedy. He's egomaniacal.
Yeah, he's like a cop often that's on the the case trying to get if one of the Crazy Cats is a criminal.
And for formality's sake, I'm going to tell you the other 4. You got Hershey Inuzuka, Senri Sakurai, Shin Yasuda, and Aitaro Ishibashi.
Listen, if you speak Japanese, this is our gift of nothing but last November. We'll try to pronounce those names and me not doing it.
And also what I'll say is if you are like the biggest Crazy Cats fan in the West and you search this podcast because you're like, finally somebody gets it. And
they're like, how dare you dismiss the last 4 Crazy Cats?
You're fuming. You're like, Shin Yasuda rocks. He's great.
He's the anchor of the Crazy Cats.
I'm telling you, I agree. He's great.
Yeah.
But
all right, here's a lineup. Can you pick them out of it? Uh-oh.
So there you go. You got the 3 main guys and you got the 4 other guys. And so first they began as a live like jazz group. Then they were TV stars. They had
Huge TV stars.
They had their own TV show, and they also performed on a lot of variety shows that were locally popular. Their shows included Otono no Manga, The Crazy Cats Show, Weekly Crazy, Soap Bubble Holiday, and finally, The Hitoshi Ueki Show, where they were
That's
like,
a lot of shows.
but I like that last one too, where it's like, listen, there's only one crazy cat who matters.
Hitoshi Ueki, yep.
This is around like the late 50s, early 60s, and around that time, Toho starts putting them in movies as well because they're that popular.
Man, I wish in some ways that North America could have kept the draconian studio system that Japan continued to keep in place. They just made more movies back then and a higher level of quality. And you could transfer from TV to movies. That never happens with TV stars, very rarely in North America.
Well, hey, Justin, what if I told you that the Paramount decree is basically over because now we have Apple and we have Netflix and we
that
have
own theaters
and that also own their own distribution platforms too. So you know, there's no separation of church and state anymore.
But that technical quality isn't there anymore.
Man,
Will.
movies are better than ever.
It's wild that I heard that like a film that shot something for Netflix, they were furious that they didn't use the cameras that Netflix wanted them to use, and it's like, it looks like shit. What are you talking about?
Well, I know.
Anyway, so the Crazy Cats start making movies and making movies and making movies. You can't get enough Crazy Cat films.
So as we said, first they're included as supporting characters in more standard studio fare. There was a movie called, I think the first one was called Young Generation from 1962, a youth-oriented musical. They were in a lot of salaryman comedies, which was a genre at the time.
Hitoshi Ueki had his own break-off series where he played an irresponsible salaryman.
That's right. And some of the other Crazy Cats would cameo in it as well. I guess a comparison might be to something like the Lucky Stars series.
Yeah, I guess.
In Hong Kong.
You know what? That would be a good comparison. What is the American comparison, though? The Rat Pack?
I guess so. Yeah, actually, because those guys were all like big stars on their own and they would appear in different configurations in each other's movies.
Oh, God. These movies are so much better than the Rat Pack films, though. Those films are death.
I know. Well, you know, we only saw one.
Yeah, I think we saw enough.
Yeah.
All right. So, Crazy Cat films sold to me as wacky, wild, full of gags. I would say they're wacky. They're a little wild. Not really full of gags, though.
They're very relaxed, and it took me until basically the third movie to figure out exactly what's going on here, exactly what the appeal of these is.
I made a misstep here, having never seen these films. I told Will to watch Crazy Big Explosions, directed by Kengo Furusawa. I think this movie is solid. It's fun, but it's also relying that you know the Crazy Cat personas a little bit.
Yeah, and this one, for the whole first half, I was a little bit lost.
Like, what the hell is going on? Something about the later films with the Crazy Cats is that, like, they will have 3 stories running in parallel of each cat having their own thing. And like sometimes it takes them 50 minutes before they come together.
Yes, and that's insane about these movies too, because I came in expecting a comedy team.
Yeah, and they're not until like later into the movie.
But this movie is set in the future, or a sort of future. It doesn't really look like the future, but nevertheless, it's set in a world where Japan has become the sole remaining superpower, and it has cornered the gold market. And all the gold in the world is basically in Japan, and there's this secret spy organization, kind of like in James Bond.
So like this movie opens with a grandiose, like, we're going into the secret base, portals and traps and big James Bond style sets, and I'm like, there's no jokes here.
I know. Well, they've got a lair in the middle of Mount Fuji,
yes,
which is, you know, basically a direct lift from You Only Live Twice, you know, a big volcano lair. The head of this Spectre-like organization is Akihiko Hirata, who you'll remember as Dr. Serizawa from Godzilla.
So you popped when you saw this. You're like, oh my God.
It's my old friend, Dr. Serizawa, yeah. And so he's the evil mastermind, and he assembles a group who can do this big gold heist. And who do you think this group is?
The Crazy Cats, but they don't know each other. They're all disparate, and they come together later in the film. I think the heist is fun. I think there's a really fun sequence where they have to put on a musical number to hide the sounds of explosions that they're doing. I picked this one because it was shorter. That's what I thought would be a plus to it.
Right. It's about 87 minutes or so. It's got a lot of topical humor from the time.
Yes.
There are jokes
There's some stuff that happens that I'm like, okay, something big in the plot. Someone was convinced to do the heist, and I don't know why they did it.
There's funny stuff in this, though. I was getting more into it in the second half. For example, like, they're in this plane that crash lands on top of a mountain somewhere, and they've got a hydrogen bomb, and they're threatening to explode the hydrogen bomb. The government becomes increasingly not interested in this, but the NGOs keep sending humanitarian aid, and they're like, oh, more food.
I like how the crazy cats are like, this is actually a demonstration to show why we should have nuclear power because it makes us more powerful.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, great idea.
That's funny, and I love that it ends on the moon.
Yep.
You know?
There was one gag that really made me laugh. That was the silliest slapstick one where they're like, oh, there's a water drain, but don't worry, I fixed it and I connected it. And it's working now. And then ring, ring, he picks up the phone and then water comes out of it. It's like, you connected the water line to the phone line.
Yeah. But the movie's not frantic, is it?
It's not.
It's not gag.
So reading about them, they did get overshadowed by another musical. Everything in Japan is musical. Like, you got to be musical too, called The Drifters. And The Drifters were famous for more fast-paced gags than the Crazy Cats were.
Yeah, I'm having trouble wrapping my head around this. The fact that comedy troops in Japan at this time were expected to also be musicians.
Yep. I mean, that's how it is now. Basically, if you're an actor in Japan, you're an idol. If you're a woman, or even a man too, like, you're expected to sing.
I guess it's the same in Hong Kong.
Yeah, Jackie. Warbling out the
police story
theme. Yeah. I mean, listen to those pipes. You can't say no to that.
So after this, and this is where I feel like I kind of reached my nadir in this process. The next movie that Justin told me to watch was Monsieur Zivaco from 1967. So this is before. We're doing this out of chronological order.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this movie started strong for me because one of the first things you see on screen is a guy in a gorilla suit.
And as I informed Will, you don't see the full guy. You see legs and the promise of a guy in a gorilla suit.
I just want to say, I had a unique experience this week of every one of these movies that I watched. When I put it on, I knew nothing about it.
No, nothing.
Not a single thing.
Well, I didn't either. I haven't seen these movies.
And that's pretty rare that you go in without any expectations, without even knowing what it's about. So this was the second one of these I watched. I just had a general sense of the tone. The plot is this master thief, who's also a master of disguise, named Monsieur Zivaco, played by, the god of the crazy cats, Hitoshi Hueki. And his thing is that he can change into any disguise.
So all the crazy cats he changes into throughout the film.
That's right.
And so I thought this would have been a slam dunk where it's like, it's silly, it's a thief, there'll be a lot of plans. The problem with this movie is the guy changes into other people. That's it. That's his one move.
That is the one joke.
Yes.
And I hope you like that joke.
And over and over. Is it colorful? Yes. And does it move? Yes.
And to be fair, what's funny about the joke is he's evidently using magic.
Yes. Because he'll go behind something and come back.
He'll be like...
they'll pull his mask off to reveal him later
on.
on.
And there's no consistency either.
You don't need consistency.
So it's like there's a funny bit where there were some school children out, and he's like, I'm the famous thief, Zivaco. And
Phantom thief. Yeah.
And they're like, prove it to us. You're not Zivaco. And he's like, all right, I'll change into anything. I'll change into... And he just changed into another guy. And they're like... Oh, that's boring. Change it to something cool like Ultraman. Yeah. And he's like, you kids watching TV. So all that was funny. There's barely any pretense of oh yeah, in this scene he's 6 feet, and then this next scene he's 5'4".
No, they never talk about that.
He's fat. And it's just like, how does he do it? That's masks.
I
whatever.
just wish. So
where does he get his mask? We don't know.
Lupin the Third is a famous character in Japanese fiction, manga. Monkey Punch made him. Lots of anime.
There's a Miyazaki film.
Yeah, Castle of Cagliostro. And the director of this one did do a live-action Lupin the Third film later on. And I thought it was going to be like Lupin the Third, where Lupin the Third, his gag too is he dresses as other people. But the gag about Lupin the Third is that he's always a million steps ahead of everybody, and he's planned it all out. He's done all the thing. The problem with this Phantom Thief in this movie is he's bad at his job.
Yes.
He's constantly being captured.
Okay, that's another joke.
Yeah, it's another joke. And he just transformed into other people. And he's kind of playing it by ear. So he's like, oh, oops, I forgot to do this or that.
And there's, a bumbling cop played by Keitana, which, by the way, this Keitana is not the guy's real name. So in Japan, they'd call it Tanny K, and he did it because he liked Danny K.
Oh, really?
Tanny K.
Oh, that's cool.
That's why he chose that name. Anyway, a lot of the humor is him posing as this bumbling cop character, and it's like, oh, it was him again, Man,
I wish he was changing to a gorilla or Ultraman or stuff like that throughout the movie.
I know. When they mentioned Ultraman, I was like, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? It's like, no.
It's kind of like Last Action Hero, where the villain is circling all the movies he wants to take creatures from. It's like, oh, I can't wait till King Kong comes out of the movie. No, that ain't happening.
Now, the thing about this movie is, like all of their movies, it looks beautiful, and it has a generally upbeat and charming air about it. Like, it has this irreverent spirit to it. And
I'm just happy to be hanging out with these guys.
Well, yeah, and so I'm watching it. It's like I love Hitoshi Ueki. He's
Yeah.
funny. I love Keitani. He's funny. I love spending time with them. And this movie is 107 minutes long. And I'm sitting there, and around the 60-minute mark, I'm feeling like, am I going to see another joke at any point?
Nope.
And then it just, like, the second half of this movie, it was just like, come on.
He transformed into a lot of people.
Come on, give me something else.
Nope.
You know?
I think that maybe some of the people he transforms into will get a pop out of the audience. Like, oh, it's that person.
Well,
But
yeah.
I am not that, like...
That's the...
You know, it's like
that's
Casper looking in the mirror and he turns into Clint Eastwood.
That's the culturally specific context of some of these movies, I guess.
Now, I should have recommended 1965, The Crazy Adventure.
Great title.
It stars Hitoshi Ueki playing, you'll be shocked to learn, a slime ball.
Okay.
Who, with his neighbor, keeps trying to make new inventions. And what's really funny about this one, it also has the kind of like giant evil organization. They're trying to do a counterfeit ring where they like make money. And what's funny about this movie is Hitoshi Ueki is also trying to make fake money, but he gets caught for something else that he's not related to. And like 30 minutes in, it turns into a Man on the Run film packed with stunts. And famously, this one, he does all his own stunts where like he falls and he like grabs onto like the electrical wire. He's on the top of a car at one point, just like beat after beat. It's really focused because it's only on him and a few of the other cats that are in his circle. And at the end, they end up on a big submarine in the evil person's base. And who's the main villain? Adolf Hitler, who shows up on screen.
Adolf Hitler.
Adolf Hitler.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah, so I should have recommended this one. I thought it was an earlier one that was kind of dismissed. And also, we need to be clear. These films are not available. Like, even the places where I would usually go to find this kind of stuff, some of them had the movie, no subtitles. We were only able to watch some of these thanks to a loyal listener who had been in contact with a private collector who subtitled them themselves. And that's the only reason that we were able to watch them with English subtitles.
God, it's demented that we're talking about this.
Yep. These movies feel like Radiance or something like that. Could give you a good box set with contextual features.
Yeah.
Like the Crazy Cats collection.
Because there's a lot in here that I think a Westerner could enjoy.
I think the issue is these are Toho films, and they don't really license them out very much.
Okay, well, I'll tell you about the last one that I saw, which I know that you also watched it, Mexican Free-For-All from 1968. Now, this movie is 167 minutes.
You know what? That doesn't really bother me. I'm just saying that because people are expecting me to go up and make a big stink about it.
No, I'm just saying it because, well, first of all, when we started Nothing But Laughs November, I didn't expect that every week I'd be watching some of the longest movies we've ever talked about for this podcast. It's like the Terrence Hill and Bud Spencer movies are all 2 hours.
The thing about Mexican Free-For-All, to be honest, it's 3 movies in one.
Yes.
If you want to stretch it, maybe even 4 movies in one. Because at the end where I'm like, wait, it's a treasure hunting movie in pyramids now?
No.
How do we get this from a con man comedy at the beginning?
But strictly, it has this like 3-act structure
Yes.
that you can set your watch to, basically.
And that first act, for Crazy Cat novices, I'm like, what the hell is this movie? Who are we following? What is the plot of this movie?
Well, it's kind of like, you know how a Simpsons episode will begin with 5 minutes of something that has nothing to do with the rest of the movie? That's the first hour of this movie.
Yes, it is.
Like, well, first of all, the movie's 167 minutes, partly because movies in Japan were double features at this time, typically. So, you know, your average Toho monster movie would be like 90 minutes, and then there'd be another movie. But with this, Toho was like, well, let's do the whole 3-hour slot.
Yeah.
You know?
The people get their money's worth that way.
And we get twice as much money. We don't have to split the bill. So that's why
it would be 2 films that were probably produced by them. Because I know that, like, the Crazy Cat Big Explosion was double billed with a Drifters movie.
Okay.
Which has 0 logs on Letterboxd. And who went through the trouble to get himself a copy? This guy. So look for it on Letterboxd.
So yeah, this movie, I mean, it begins in Japan, then it goes to San Francisco.
Yes.
And then
you're
ends...
like, wait a minute. Is it a Mexican free-for-all? What are we doing in San Francisco?
We're in San Francisco for a long time. A character wakes up in Alcatraz and looks out the window and sees the Golden Gate Bridge. Him and me are having the same thought. Why are we in San Francisco?
Now, I love that they are outside, actually in San Francisco. He's running down like Alcatraz.
He goes to Haight Ashbury.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And you see, like, it looks like documentary footage of him there just at the time.
Maybe we needed to watch the longest Crazy Cat films, because I found this one got funnier as it went along.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like the complications of like the way the plots would intermingle and characters you haven't thought about in an hour would come back. There's a joke at the end of this movie that like You know, Stuart Galbraith?
Stuart Galbraith IV. Who,
Yeah, he wrote an article about the Crazy Cats. I mean, speaking of people not knowing who, he was writing an article when no one was seeing these movies.
Yeah, back in the 90s, Stuart Galbraith IV is one of like the 2 or 3 white guys in the West who went over to Japan and interviewed everyone.
Yeah, for an article that was like basically for no one at the time.
It was in Film Facts magazine in the 90s, and it's a great article. Anything I know about Crazy Cat comes from there.
And I gotta say, he nailed them through in the introductory paragraph. He writes, though rarely laugh out loud funny, the Crazy Cats exude an enormous likability, and their films were well produced and often very clever. It's like, you got it, Stuart.
That's exactly it. Although I will say, Mexican Free-For-All,
There were big laughs.
I laughed.
There is a resolution to how to stop a character with a gun at the end of the movie where it's revealed that like, oh, this thing that you did an hour ago, now it's paying off. That made me laugh. There's also some corpse comedy. Always love some corpse comedy.
So that's in the first hour. Okay, just in case people are lost, the plot basically involves they're all looking for this statue, and inside the statue.
So I didn't realize the statue until like 70 minutes in, because they're just kind of rambling. Because like 2 of them are think they're wanted for murder, so they go to San Francisco.
But the corpse comedy in the first hour, where
it's like basically a guy finds a corpse, he hides it somewhere. Another crazy cat gets in the car, and instead of being like, "Oh, there's a corpse in my car," he hides it himself. It crashes through the roof of another crazy cat, who then tries to get rid of the corpse, and in the process has to pretend to be a doctor. And because he's pretending to be a doctor, gets shipped to San Francisco. I liked how they end up in Mexico. One of them is just because he's pretending to be a hippie, and they're like, "He looks Mexican to me. Ship him back."
Yeah.
Too real in this day and age is what I have to say.
I know. But then the last half hour of the movie, there's like, treasure hunting shenanigans, like haunted house stuff.
Now, there are some
there's music.
Yep. There's
music.
There is an out of nowhere musical number where it just cuts through like 10 different songs, including it's like, hey, the Peanuts are there.
Yeah, that's right. And now, this movie, again, for all the crazy stuff that we're talking about in here, it is spread thin across.
But you're just happy to hang out with these guys.
I liked being in it. This is a movie, Mexican Free-For-All, where I really felt the alchemy worked.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yes. And the cumulative effect as it played of like, okay, what other new shenanigans? Because if you're adding all these elements, it allows them to build and come back in. And it's like, oh, this character that left the movie is now back. Oh, okay. While in the shorter versions that we talked about earlier, it was almost too much. Like there was too much baggage assumed with the characters, didn't allow them to do all this stuff. And in Mexican Free-For-All, you get to see a lot of bad English-speaking actors that were living in Japan at the time. Love it. Like the guy who plays the mob boss. Thank you for fixing my brain.
Oh, man. So, yeah, a lot of funny stuff here. Mm-hmm. Overall, I enjoyed this week. I was happy to watch these movies. And I actually do, maybe not right now, but I do want more. I am going to check out more of these Crazy Cats movies.
Now, did you know there is a Max Rose Crazy Cats movie?
Wait.
Made in 1988.
Okay, let me just define the terms here.
Yes.
Hey,
if you listen to the Crazy Cats episode, you know what we're talking about.
A Max Rose is a term that Justin and I have created to describe a certain kind of movie. It's the last Jerry Lewis movie where Jerry Lewis is old.
Mm-hmm. It's called Max Rose.
A Max Rose is a movie that's about an old comedian, and much of the pathos of the film comes from how old they are.
Yeah, the weight of like everything that's come before. It's called Memories of You, and it's about all the crazy cats. Basically, I think it's mostly a drama, which is what you wanted a Max Rose film.
Yeah.
And it's about the crazy cats kind of like, I believe it's about them learning to play musical instruments. Listen, I may be wrong. You don't need to correct me. I haven't seen it. I just looked at it on Letterboxd, which it may be the most logged Crazy Cats movie because it was on the Criterion channel.
Wow.
Without any of the other Crazy Cats films, what are you doing?
Much to explore. If you can find these movies.
Yeah, most of them are out there.
So, which movie should they watch?
I think they should watch Crazy Big Adventure, Mexican Free-For-All #2. Then
good.
Go on your own way.
Well, Nothing But Laughs November worldwide. I loved it.
There are so many other movies we could do with this subject. And I don't think we should hold off either until next November.
I just think we haven't done Cantinflas.
We haven't done Norman Wisdom.
Yeah.
Someone wrote us a letter I'll read that they bring somebody else up that I'm like, oh yeah, them. A lot of people, there's like a German actor that somebody brought up that they're like, their movies are terrible, but they're so popular. And I'm like, yum, 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 give it to me.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Okay, wow.
Because that is the undiscovered country of international cinema, is comedy. Because that does not travel. That's why you see no logs on Letterboxd. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised. I guess Japan doesn't use Letterboxd then.
But, after this month, I increasingly think, like, it doesn't have to be that way. There's stuff here in most of these guys to appreciate.
I agree.
Even Yonge. Especially Yonge.
Listen, I know not many people took up the challenge of Yonge because we posted the film in the Discord. Some people tried, and they're like, it's too much for me. I would like to salute the brave soldiers. And again, be clear, Last Godfather is the funniest one.
That's right.
Undeniably.
Thunderhawks from Space, though.
The most fun one. Yeah. Those are the two that I would recommend.
So do we have any letters?
We do have letters. As per usual, you can send us letters at importantcinemaclubpodcast@gmail.com. Our first letter is from loyal listener Warble Flutter. When November's theme was announced, I was half expecting, okay, maybe less than half, an episode about the awfully prolific comedian Toto, who I believe has never been mentioned on your show. I've never seen a Toto film. I know of him.
I've heard the name. That's all I can say, though.
He starred in no less than 97 films, many of which have only recently gotten English subtitles thanks to dedicated fans. I suppose people who aren't fluent in Italian are perhaps mostly familiar with him from Pasolini's Hawk and Sparrows. Oh, of course. Hawk and Sparrows, Toto, right?
My favorite Pasolini film.
Or the international hit Big Deal on Madonna Street. Oh, that's a good movie.
Yeah,
a crime film.
I have seen that.
For good reason. The movie is very enjoyable. I've only seen a fraction of his work, but from memory, these stand out if you ever feel like taking a plunge into his filmography. Then he names a bunch of other ones. Fun fact, Lucio Fulci's first feature as a director was a Toto vehicle. Haven't seen it, as it's not highly rated. We've talked about this. Lucio Fulci, the comedy films episode.
Nobody has ever... This is the final frontier for a boutique Blu-ray company.
No one has touched those comedies. They've done sex comedies. I think Severance stepped their toe into that.
Right. They put out the Eroticist, I think. But the early ones, the ones that are like Terrence Hill, Bud Spencer movies, but by Lucio Fulci, nobody's done those. And it's about time somebody did.
And then the letter continues. And speaking of Italians with funny names, I'm surprised. That's a letter writer, not my opinion. That director Damiano Damiani isn't on more people's radars. Also, Letterboxd hero Philippe Furtado is unsurprisingly hip to that good shit. Nearly every film of his that I've seen is an absolute banger. He specializes in political thrillers and gritty mafia stories, and he's also made a few westerns. Somehow also directed an Amityville Horror. Yep, that's Amityville Horror 2, The Possession, this is Justin speaking, which is very good. And they're all pretty good to excellent. I will say I'm a fan of Damio Damiani, and we have discussed him on this podcast because A Bullet for the General?
A Bullet for the General.
Or a General.
Which has Klaus Kinski in it.
Yeah, we did talk about, did we do Zapata Westerns?
Oh, I don't think so.
We did some odd Western episode.
I remember watching it for that.
We have seen it. I do really like his movies. He does a lot of films. I think a lot of them are a little bit more elevated, but they always try to get sold by like companies being like, you love Eurocrime, right? Mm-hmm. Here you go, Confessions of a Police Captain. And it's like, oh, well, it's not like an Enzo G. Castellari movie, but they're very good. And I like him a lot, especially Amityville 2, The Possession. Very underrated in the Amityville canon. So thank you for those two suggestions. I would love to do Damiani, and I would definitely love to do Toto. I would like to highlight, because it was brought to my attention, loyal listener Joe Clark, who's been a fan of Important Cinema Club for a very long time. On the Very Fine Comic Book Podcast, another podcast I do, I talked about how I love the comic Radiant Black. I was picking it up every month, and Joe Clark messaged me and was like, hey, I co-write that comic. I was like, oh my God, really?
Wow.
And in a recent issue, he sent me the pages. The character, the main character, the superhero, starts dating someone who's a cinephile, and she convinces him to go see a little movie called Open Doom Crescendo in the comic.
Wow, that's amazing.
Not only is it named by name in issue number 37, in issue number 38, they go and see it and talk about it. So
incredible. Well, and hey, folks, you can be like that too. You can get the Blu-ray from Golden Edge Video.
Video.com, yes. I love how the theater they go see is like packed. Terry would love if that was happening right now. And Radiant Black, if you want to pick it up, like, this is a very popular comic, and if you go to any comic book shop, they will have whatever the newest issue, which I believe is 38 of Radiant Black, where they go see Open Doom Crescendo, but you got to get 37 too, because that's where they mention it. And I'd like to highlight Joe Clark. He also had me and Mike by name in one of another comic book that he did, so thank you very much, Joe.
37.
In a row. Let me go at the message that I sent to Mike Wood right here. What issue is it, Mike? I just want to confirm with Will. Which issue is it? 37. And then I respond, in a row. So just confirmation. I already made that joke.
You know, I'm turning 37 soon, and I'm just going to spend all year thinking about that.
Every time someone asks you, how old are you?
37.
In a row. So thank you very much for the letters. And as per usual, you can send us letters at importantcinemaclubpodcast@gmail.com.
So we got a big event coming up in the city of Toronto on Monday, December 8th. At Eyesore Cinema. we will be having our second annual.
You called it, and I use the same name. It's the Important Cinema Club Christmas Spectacular, Holiday Spectacular.
Something along those lines. Point is, we're having a big Christmas event at Eyesore Cinema. We will be showing a mystery Christmas film. It'll be an action film.
It will be an action film.
We'll be doing a live thing of some kind.
Podcast. Yeah, like we did last time. A little podcast. But most importantly, and this is the reason for the season, me and Will will be selling our gold there.
That's right. We'll have a little flea market.
Yep. It'll be cheap. Emily will be making baked goods.
This is very exciting.
So you can pick all that stuff up. I mean, do you need a gift for someone in your life that likes movies? Do you want something they have never heard of? You can buy it from me or Will. I should even go through like any doubles of magazines or stuff like that, like zines and stuff. Me and Will, anytime we go to like a movie event and there's a little table and we're like, oh my God, we got to go through all the stuff. This is that table. Don't miss it. There's a link. I think tickets are like $7 or something like that.
Oh, it's a steal.
Yeah. You can check it out. It's right below in the description of this, or check my Blue Sky. It's at the top as well. You can click a link.
And to this, I would say if you live within 1,000 kilometers.
A last 1,000 kilometers? Yeah.
Come on in.
A 10-hour drive if you're going 100 kilometers an hour?
That's not too much just to hang out with your
You're gonna
favorite
get
podcasters.
3 hours of entertainment there. That's a long time.
And memories to last a lifetime.
Yeah, you will never be like, oh, remember that screening I went to? No. You'll remember this.
Yeah.
Forever.
So that's pretty exciting.
I already know because they bought a ticket. Maybe there'll be other people from the Decloux podcast universe that will be there. Actually, more than one. So you can meet them. What if we're all there? You can all meet them. Give us high fives. We'll sign your shirts and things like that.
That's crazy.
Isn't it wild that we have never done a shirt? Never even crossed my mind.
Yeah, who wants that?
I don't know. You let us know if you want a t-shirt.
Do you want a shirt? I don't know.
One that will disintegrate after 2 washes and the thing, 'cause we probably have to drop ship it. So
yeah. Well, anyway, on our Patreon this week, it's what we've been watching.
So we're talking about Mr. Bill again.
We talk a lot about Mr. Bill. Last week, we did an episode about the Mr. Bill holiday special. Y'all remember Mr. Bill. He's the the Play-Doh man from Saturday Night Live, the early days.
So we talk about that. We talk about the 50th anniversary of SNL. We talk about the 40th anniversary of SNL.
But then we get to movies, and we talk about Edgar Wright's The Running Man. I talk about Laurel and Hardy.
Yep. I forgot what I talked about. Other movies.
Lots of stuff.
Ernest Scared Stupid on 35mm.
Yeah, what does Ernest Scared Stupid look like on 35mm? We answer the question.
You can check that out at patreon.com/theimportantcinemaclub. And next week, it's Big Denver.
It's Big Denver. Annually, this was the same way last year.
Now, I asked in the Discord, have we done this more than once? No one answered, so I'm going to assume we only did it last year.
So this is the second annual Big Denver.
Because usually in November, we go very obscure.
That's right.
And now we want to sell out. Have stuff that people know.
So last year, folks will remember we did things like, I don't know, The Lord of the Rings.
See, we do Star Wars.
Yeah, we did big stuff. And we're continuing it with another.
We need the biggest thing.
Hugest franchise of all time. We are talking about
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
All 4. Yeah. We're talking about the original.
I know them all. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Return of the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes Strike Back. Sorry, I get so excited. I can't talk.
Excited.
And Attack of the Killer Tomatoes Eat France.
That's right.
And I want you to watch the pilot for the cartoon of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh, buddy, this is I'll happily watch it. I'll watch it right fucking now. I don't care.
Did you were you going to pull off the shelf that weird box set that was released by Rhino Video? Do you have that one that's in the big puffy box that came out?
I do not own
Holy shit.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Holy
and I'll tell you
shit.
why. Because it's a bad movie.
How dare you? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I certainly rented it on VHS when I was a kid, and I don't
know how this has never come up. I was tomato pilled when I was a kid.
Whoa.
I think because of the cartoon, which did not last long. But I remember hearing the theme song, loving it, and that VHS was definitely in the 99-cent family section of West Coast Video.
You remember it came with tomato seeds?
Did it?
Yeah.
The big box or the VHS?
The VHS.
Okay. And I remember when I sat down and I watched the movie, it's fine. It's not that funny.
Even that's kind of generous, I think. But hey, maybe I'll love it this time.
Now, Return of the Killer Tomatoes, I remember, is like a Zaz parody if you slow down.
Well, so is the first one.
Yeah. Well, the first one, as they would say, is more of a parody of Japanese monster movies, as they say themselves.
And the second one stars
Mr. George Clooney
in his first leading man role.
Is John Astin in all of them, or only Strikes Back and...
John Astin is not in the first one, but he's in the sequels.
Oh, he is? Okay, I'm very excited to see that. And I'm also
There's a new one that they're shooting now with
no.
Eric Roberts is going to be in it. So you know it's going to be good.
And this was brought up because, for all you anime heads up there, in the Chainsaw Man opening of season 1, there is a shot that parodies Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and it's not the scene that you think it would be. But when I told Will, I showed it to him, he went, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
Yeah.
So you know what? I think Nothing But Laughs continues with Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And
this
if people are
so
like,
good.
"That's not that big," the tomatoes are very big.
Yeah, let's see you go up against one of those tomatoes. So Big Denver is back.
Back with Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
So until next week.
Yeah, sorry. I was so excited. I forgot what. I just looked off like, oh, where's my Attack of the Killer Tomatoes DVD?
You want to watch it right now.
Yeah. So until next week, my name's Justin Decloux.
I'm Will Sloan.
Thanks for listening. As per usual, I would like to thank some of our new patrons that have joined, who include Tyler Bagby, Min, Primrose Path, Nick Workman, Craig, and Hoodwill. Thank you very much for becoming patrons. We could not keep doing this without you.
Let's talk about Quentin Tarantino.
Okay. Feels like it's been a while since he's been on here.
And we're talking about him because he looms large.
Remember that when he was doing those NFTs? And there was those sad photos of him like doing a press conference where they were announcing them.
I have no memory of this at all. Tarantino doing NFTs?
Yeah, he did them.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, he's an embarrassment. An embarrassment who's a great filmmaker.
Yeah, I mean, kind of undeniable.
You can't deny it. I mean,
are you lining up to watch the deleted sequence from Kill Bill that he directed that will be appearing only in Fortnite?
So this is his 10th movie.
Yeah.
And it's done after this. Yeah.
Now, this movie that's in Fortnite, people were like, what the hell is this? And I saw it and I went, I know what this is because I read the first draft of Kill Bill and this scene was in there. And when the movie came out, he didn't shoot it, but now he did it. And the Banana Man from Fortnite is there. Uma Thurman did mocap and voice of the bride in it. And I believe, so it hasn't been 100% confirmed. This may be in the new re-release of Kill Bill.
The whole bloody affair.
This 10-minute sequence that has all the Fortnite characters in it.
Well, hey, we'll find out.
How different is it than the flashback that happened that was, anime, right?
So where do I stand on Quentin Tarantino? I have not seen that, the Fortnite thing, but I may go see the whole bloody affair.
Oh, definitely. I think that when Tarantino, we were big fans back when Kill Bill came out. Even the Grindhouses were like, I love this guy. He's got so much eclectic taste.
And
I wish he could talk more about this.
Yeah.
And the monkey paw curls.
Every 4 or 5 years, he comes out with a new movie and he does a new round of interviews and you get to be like, what's Tarantino been into for the last 5 years? And he talks about all the things that he loves. And it's always really cool things like kung fu movies and spaghetti westerns and blaxploitation films.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think any director, maybe I'm being hyperbolic here, but I can't think of another director whose taste has done more to upend the canon than his.
You know what? I agree with you. But what's really funny is, and there's hints of this, I remember when they would do Tarantino Fest or whatever it was called in Austin, and the list of movies would come out that he showed. And I'd be like, oh, I want to watch these. 5 movies in, I'm like, these stink. What's going on here?
Well, he came sold to us as the movie guy. Mm-hmm. He's the guy at the video store who's seen everything.
Like if he was doing an intro to a movie.
Oh, I see you film fans. All right, what is the Rolling Thunder video collection? Yeah.
That's one for the real old heads of Important Cinema Club.
I mean, is it really Chungking Express if it doesn't begin with 20 minutes of this man?
Of a Dutch angle of him where there's a weird background the entire time and close-ups of his hands as he's talking.
He doesn't like Wong Kar-wai anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
he's too pretentious?
I saw an interview where he was talking about Pedro Almodovar and he said he's not one of those art house directors like Wong Kar-wai who you get tired of. He said that.
Okay, so...
And this, what I will just say to this is Tarantino has bad taste.
Okay, you beat me to it. That's what I was leading up to.
Yes.
Tarantino has bad taste. You know why his taste has ossified like this? No one has told him no since 1995.
I know.
And so his taste has never been challenged. He feels he's just in the right.
He's so annoying whenever he talks about movies. And his cinema speculation book, which is one of the worst books ever published by a publisher. No, seriously, take any self-published thing on Amazon.
Yikes.
And most of it's better than this shit. That book is so badly written.
I think it's
so stupid.
One of the big issues now with listening to Tarantino is he's not discovering stuff anymore. And so he's stuck in a rut when he talks about movies. And when he talks about new movies, he's like an 80-year-old grandpa.
So
Let's go through this. I have the top 20 of the decade.
Yeah, so he was on the Bret Easton Ellis podcast, which, first of all, no thank you. I'm reading some of his comments about his list of the 20 best...
I wanted to go through them.
The 20 best movies of the last 25 years.
Okay.
So number 20 is West Side Story.
Some people love that movie.
Yeah, no, but sorry, I don't mean to dismiss that, but the fact that he says, I don't think Scorsese has made a film this exciting this century.
We can't unpack this. He's wrong.
But also, can we zoom in on the word exciting? Like, what
Wolf
does that
of Wall
mean?
Street.
Well, yeah, Wolf of Wall Street. But also, it's like his taste is so like it's childish, is what it is. And this goes back to his whole like his hatred of like old man movie makers.
Yeah, like John Ford.
You know, but like filmmakers who get older and in his view lose their touch. It's like, well, no, they don't necessarily lose their touch. Sometimes they become something else.
Yeah.
Sometimes they become slower. They become more contemplative. They develop qualities that you don't like. You know, he likes excitement. He likes energy. He likes a certain kind of movie.
But Wolf of Wall Street does have that energy.
I agree. So he also has bad taste.
Yes. All right.
Yeah,
number 19, Cabin Fever.
Cabin Fever.
As a guy who, when it came out, loved Cabin Fever. Yeah, that's all.
This is your number 19 of the century. Bad taste. 18, Moneyball. It's fine. Oh, so 17, Chocolate, I think is the only interesting choice in this whole 25.
That is the Thai action film.
This is the only choice. Oh, sorry. There are two choices that are off the beaten path.
Oh, the next one too?
No.
Oh.
Well, so The Devil's Rejects.
Number 16.
The Passion of the Christ. This choice I almost approve of just because it's so weird.
Yes, but you can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
He's talking about like, if he thinks Passion of the Christ is like powerful, no one has ever done anything like that in theaters.
And he thinks it's an exploitation film.
Yes.
Which
you know what? That's a good way to
That's the
see it.
only defense I can make for it too. 14, School of Rock. Fine.
Sure.
13, Jackass.
I like that.
Fine. Yeah. Okay, 12.
Big Bad Wolf.
This is the other one.
He's loved Big Bad Wolf, he talks about like, oh man, that's got real Boss Baby vibes. Like it's like the only film he's seen in a theater for the last 25 years.
You've seen it, right?
It's fine.
It's an Israeli film.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
So 11, Battle Royale. Now this is interesting to me because you remember 10 years ago when he did his list of like the top 20 movies since he became a director? That used to be his number one. That used to be his number one since 1992. Okay. So it's fallen.
Well, there's a few films that beat it since then, like number 10,
Midnight in Paris.
Tarantino, you coward. You used to have anything else on your list.
That used to be his favorite Woody Allen movie, which is so much funnier.
Yes.
If you're gonna go for such a lame pick, like if you're
80-year-old man.
If you're gonna put a Woody Allen movie from after the year 2000 on your list, make it anything else.
Yeah.
But number 9, Shaun of the Dead. Number 8, Mad Max Fury Road. Now this is so typical of him. I was actually not going to see it for the simple reason that in a world where Mel Gibson exists and he's not playing Max, I want Mad Mel. Weeks and weeks and weeks passed, and people kept telling me about how great it was. And Fred, my editor, was saying, I'm serious, you got to go to it. Then I saw it. The great stuff is so great, and you're watching a truly great filmmaker. This is the kind of guy he is. He's somebody who, like,
well, if Mel's not in it.
Well, he has an idea.
Yeah.
It takes the entire world telling him, no, you're wrong, for him to finally admit defeat on this one thing. Okay, but so 7 is Unstoppable. 6, Zodiac. It's not even so much the choices, it's what he says about them. Okay,
I didn't listen to any of it, so.
Okay, here's what he says about Zodiac. He says, when I first watched Zodiac, I wasn't that into it. And then it started playing the movie channels. And the first thing I knew, watching 20 minutes of it, 40 minutes of it, and I realized this is a lot more engaging than I remember it being. And it kept grabbing me in different sections. So I decided to watch this goddamn thing again. And it was a whole different experience from that point on. I found myself, even 6 or 7 years, watching it again. And it's a luxurious experience that I give myself over to.
Wait, give me, sorry. My 80-year-old man watching the movie channels. Watching the movie channels.
Yeah.
So you're watching it on like what is it, like AMC, or what are the channels that exist still right now?
Yeah.
That are like, it'll be in a 4-hour time slot because 2 hours of it are ads for boner pills.
Number 5, There Will Be Blood. 4, Dunkirk. Okay, listen to what he says about Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Another film that I didn't initially like. What I now love about it is that I feel there's a real mastery to it. And I came around to it watching it again and again and again. The first time, it's not like it left me cold. It was so kind of gobsmacking. I didn't really know what I saw. It was almost too much. And then the second time I saw it, my brain was able to take it in a little bit more. And then the third time and the fourth time, I was just like, wow, it just blew me away. Sorry, do you have a head injury? What did you not understand? Are you blind? Is that like, what's going on?
Hey, you're insulting the fact that people can develop, like Andrew Saris going to see 2001.
I have a million movies I've changed my opinion on. It's fine.
It's so funny that all of these have that, like. And then when I saw it for the 12th time on TBS Superstation.
No, they all do. So 3 is Lost in Translation, 2 is Toy Story 3, whatever.
Toy Story 3, sure.
But number 1, Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
So that's so funny. He says, I liked it when I first saw it, but I actually think it was so intense it stopped working for me, and I didn't carry it with me the way I should have. Since then, I've seen it a couple of times. Not a bunch of times, but I think it's a masterwork. And one of the things I love so much about it is this is the only movie that actually goes completely for an Apocalypse Now sense of purpose and visual effect and feeling. And I think it achieves it.
And if you said, what's that quote from? The person went, Lights, Camera, Jackson. I don't think...
I didn't really get Black Hawk Down the first time I saw it, but I saw it again. I realized it had an Apocalypse Now sense of feeling.
I like that. It like, what's your favorite movie? Quentin, number 1. It's like he's looking around the room and he's like, Brett, Black Hawk Down. I like Black Hawk Down.
This is another thing that surprises me about him. Yeah, it's like when we were introduced to this man, he was the guy. He was like, oh, have you ever heard of the Shaw Brothers? Back when nobody in the West knew what the Shaw Brothers were. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not true, but you know what I mean. It was like, have you heard of, I'm releasing The Beyond in theaters. I'm releasing Mighty Peking Man in theaters. I'm doing all this like obscure stuff. Hey, Takeshi Kitano, Wong Kar-wai, I'm bringing them west. And now he's like, yeah, you seen Black Hawk Down? It's like, I didn't really get it the first time, but now...
But counterpoint, isn't that what he was doing was the trash that he was talking about that had been forgotten back in the day?
Yeah, now
he's just continuing
He's just doing it with what's on TBS.
But we're aware of it, so we're like, oh, it's bad. Well, people back in the day, when he's trying to, raise up Black Caesar, they're like, that's trash. I can't believe he's putting Black Caesar on the list.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just playing into the stuffy old shirts.
That's why number 2, Toy Story 3. Anyway, whatever.
Again, love most of his movies.
Yeah.
Kind of undeniably.
No, he's a great filmmaker.
And if he could just...
I would just like to see him make another movie instead of... Because as a film critic, he sucks. He's terrible.
Wait, I think you could go back and you'd be like, Mr. Tarantino, would you like to be our friend?
I don't know if I want to be his friend anymore, honestly. In light of recent events. Yeah. I'm going to go to Tel Aviv and hang out with Tarantino. No thanks.
And Eli Roth.
Yeah. Boy, I wonder what we would talk about.